Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, as we go into this week, we're going to tackle another 5 books of the Bible in about 4 minutes apiece, where we give a synopsis, a memorable verse, and maybe some practical application. So today, we're in the Old Testament book of Habakkuk. Now, question, have you ever thought about or questioned God about the injustice in this world? If so, you're in good company. The prophet Habakkuk engages in a remarkable back and forth, a dialogue with God where he wrestles with these profound questions. You might even say he argues with God. We used to try to remember the differences in these minor prophets in the Old Testament in school by using the little phrase, Habakkuk talked Habakkuk, But anyway, he asks these profound questions about divine justice and faith in the middle of his troubled times when he lived. His journey from confusion to confidence should offer hope for everyone who struggles to understand the ways of God. So let's start with a summary of the book. It's written around 605 BC. And Habakkuk is a bit unique among all of the prophetic books because it consists primarily of a conversation between the prophet and God. It's not so much God saying, go out there and tell everybody this. It's him and God in back and forth dialogue. And he starts out by questioning why God has allowed wickedness to continue in Judah, that southern part of what had been the Israelite settlement in the Holy Lands. And God's response is almost provocative. He says, I plan to use the Babylonians as instruments of judgment on that wickedness. Well, now this just prompts Habakkuk to a second level of complaint. Habakkuk says, how can you, a holy God, use an evil nation to punish those that are more righteous than the evil people? And God assures Habakkuk that Babylon too will face judgment, but that during this time the righteous are need to live by faith and they'll sustain through the difficulties. And then the book concludes with Habakkuk offering a beautiful prayer of faith and trust. So, what's a memorable verse out of Habakkuk? I love Habakkuk 2, verse 4, chapter 2, verse 4. It says simply, but the righteous will live by faith. This pivotal verse is quoted 3 times in the New Testament. It encapsulates the central biblical message that faithful people trust in God, and that trust is essential, especially when the circumstances seem to contradict God's promises. So how can we apply this practically? Habakkuk teaches us to handle our doubts and our questions about God's ways. Rather than suppressing our concerns, we can bring them honestly before God. We can pray with candor to the Lord. The book encourages us to do that as it charts the movement of Habakkuk from questioning to trusting, from confusion to faith. And this, even if we don't understand God's methods, it reminds us that faith isn't the absence of doubt, but rather it's choosing to trust God despite our doubt and our circumstances. So, in conclusion, like Habakkuk's journey from protest to praise, we too can learn to trust God in perplexing times. His final declaration, quote, yet I will rejoice in the Lord, close quote, stands as a testament to the transforming power of faith. And may we, like Habakkuk, learn to stand on God's promises, even when the world around us seems to make no sense. That's why I've made this your video thought for today.